This is the much anticipated facelifted 2022 Nissan Terra. This is one of the most extensive facelifts that we've seen in a while. In this video, we'll talk about the changes, we'll check out the exterior, we'll check out the interior, and we'll talk about the features. So, is it worth the money? Let's find out. So like I said, this is a very extensive facelift. So almost all the panels at the front are different. You get a new hood, you get a new grille, a new bumper, and new headlights. By the way, all variants of the Terra, from the EL to the VL, will now come with these quad projector LED headlights. These are your turn signals, these are your low beams, and these ones are your high beams. You also have DRLs, which are the same shape as the pre-facelift Terra. You now get a larger V-motion grille. So the hood is now different. You got these ridges on the hood, which connect with the V-motion grille. You also got a new bumper now with a faux skid plate and these faux air vents, which seem to be very trendy nowadays. In here you have LED fog lamps. So I don't think it looks as macho as last year's model, but it looks more sophisticated. From the side, the changes are less drastic. You got this new garnish over here. You get new wheels. They're still 18 inches, but they're a different design. And the VL now gets disc brakes at the back. The lower end models still come with drum brakes. Aside from that, it looks similar to last year's model. So here at the back, you get new LED taillights, which look conspicuously like the taillights of the Fortuner. So instead of the chrome strip connecting the two taillights from here, it now arches over the tail lamps, over the new Terra logo. Over here you got a faux skid plate. The Terra still comes with a manual tailgate. So in here you still get the same amount of space as the pre-facelift model.
So I'm really happy that Nissan finally changed the dashboard on the new Terra. Unlike the new Navara, which still came with the same dashboard, this is entirely different. I think the pre-facelift Terra had one of the ugliest looking dashboards in its segment. It looked like it was molded from one chunk of plastic. This one definitely looks a lot better. It looks more complex, it looks more premium, and it doesn't just look nicer, it also feels nicer. Unlike the pre-facelift Terra, which had a mostly plastic dashboard, this one is covered in nicer materials. This is leather. This looks like faux aluminum. It's probably plastic, but it looks and feels nice. You have these metallic looking knobs, which feel premium. They have a satisfying click to them when you rotate them. You get this. You get the same steering wheel as the new Navara. It's leather wrapped, and yeah, it looks more sleek compared to the pre-facelift Terra. So the door sidings look almost the same as the pre-facelift. This is hard plastic, this is leather wrapped. So this right here is leather wrapped. You have a wireless phone charger over here. You now get an electronic parking brake. The pre-facelift Terra had a manual handbrake. You don't get a sunroof on the VL 4x2 and also on the VL 4x4. You get one USB port over here, one USB-C port over here. Over here is a 12-volt outlet. You got dual zone climate control. So here is your new infotainment screen. The resolution's pretty good. I guess it's responsive enough. So let's see. It should come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Okay, so yeah, you now get a top-down camera over here. This is my first time seeing the car and I haven't even seen the brochure yet. So pardon me if I make any mistakes. It doesn't seem like you can rotate the view, which is okay. It's really not necessary. So I believe you also get active guidelines. Yeah, you get active guidelines. As you can see, it moves. So like the previous Terra, you also get this intelligent rear view camera. So in this position, it's an actual mirror. But if you flick it down like this, you see the feed from the rear camera, which is useful if you have tall passengers at the back. So over here you get a manual tachometer, a manual speedometer, and a digital screen at the center. So on the steering wheel you have controls for your infotainment screen, also for your cruise control. The VL 4x2 does not come with adaptive cruise control, but it does have automatic emergency braking. You have two cup holders over here. You got pretty sizable storage here underneath the armrest. The armrest is leather wrapped, so all of these seats are leather wrapped, as you can see. Storage for your eyewear. Yeah, that's it. Let's check out the back seat. Okay, so here's the back seat. Legroom is okay. I have about an inch and a half of headroom. So over here you get one USB port, one USB-C port, and two aircon vents. Your aircon controls are up here. You also have two more aircon vents over here. So you get this large 10-inch roof-mounted screen. These are the third row seats. As you can see, the flooring here is pretty shallow. I have about this much headroom, but headroom comes at the cost of room here at the bottom because as you can see, the seat is pretty low. It's okay for shorter trips, but for longer trips, I don't think this is the most comfortable position. Okay, so over here you get a USB port and an HDMI outlet. So this is for that screen on the roof. The new Terra doesn't get an updated engine, but that's not so bad because its power output is not too far behind the competition. It's only slightly behind the Everest Bi-Turbo and the Fortuner 2.8 in terms of power, but it's ahead of the Montero, which only has 176 horsepower. The engine is coupled to the same 6-speed transmission. Overall, it's a very impressive facelift. From the inside and from the front at least, it looks like an all-new model. It may not have adaptive cruise, but it has automatic emergency braking, which I feel is a feature that we should be seeing more often on local cars. In terms of tech, it is competitive in the segment. The Nissan Terra VL 4x2 will sell for 2 million pesos. That's about the same price as the Everest Titanium 4x2, the Montero GT 4x2, and the Fortuner Q. The 4x4 Terra will sell for 2.35 million. I think each PPV has different strengths, and I'll try to break that down in a later video.
So that's the new Nissan Terra. Perhaps it doesn't look as rugged as the pre-facelift Terra, but I think it looks more sophisticated. Definitely in the future we'll do a full review of this when we get to test drive it. For now, click on that subscribe button to be updated.